It's Clark and Perry on the case.
Da-na-na-na, Clark and Perry, do what it takes. Da-na-na-na, Clark and Perry, investigate.
The activities and interests of local artists in the Windy City's finest throughout both Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, Alberta. Available on TELUS, Optic TV, On Demand, VidFlex, YouTube, and more for limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.
Da-na-na-na.
No, I'm just gonna buff that out with a bit of black. Yeah, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
There you go. Just add a little bit of a definition to that other eye. Okay. He can't see. He's fine. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. Oh. I'm pulling on this thing. Sweet. So now I'm going to add some cracks to your face. So I'm going to go around and just kind of split your face.
Is it? That was like phase 4. Are we already at that phase 4?
Yeah, pretty much.
Right on.
We do things a little out of order here too. So
Nice.
I will go back in and do more.
the touch-ups as
Yeah.
well too. Okay, sweet. So we're going to be reapplying this water base,
Water paint, yeah.
water paint, in order to kind of look for that, what was it, that streaking that you were kind of initially cautioning us away from.
Yeah. I initially cautioned it because, you have to know your medium is a big one. But what I'm doing is the exact same thing I did with the eyes, where I'm using a super thin brush. I'm not going to streak as much as I am going to paint over top of with a very, very light touch.
Right.
So try not to move.
How am I doing? Am I not moving enough?
You're doing great.
Okay, right.
It reminds me of like hairdressers when they're like, "Don't move."
Don't move.
I guess, but unlike the hairdressers, I'm not getting wrenched around. Because don't move. I just grab the whole wad of hair and you're just like all over the place.
Just adding little cracks all over your face as though you were a porcelain doll that got dropped on the floor.
I have a question for you, Jordyn.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, or not obviously, but is it, how often do you get to work on somebody's face, and how often do you work on your own? Like, is there a big difference between the two?
There's a fairly large difference. I don't get to work on other people as much as I would like to. And that's simply just because I don't have like a career in like cosplay or like theatrical makeup. This is a hobby for me. It is part of my career, certainly. But I work on myself a lot. I experiment a lot with my own face. And that does translate some skill to working on other people. The steadiness of hand. And, being able to work on the fly and fix mistakes that you have made on your own face. It helps in being able to do other people's makeup. I do quite a bit of drag makeup. That's the one thing I do a lot of on other people. Otherwise, it's a lot of SFX, like gunshot wounds, injuries, stuff like that. And yeah, not a whole lot of other stuff. So this is a treat for me. Treat.
And another question on top of that would be, are you able to practice this like in drawing? Like, do you make like mock drafts of designs? Or
I do. I actually have quite a few of them, and I should have put them in my portfolio. But I have basically a mock-up of my face for each one of the designs that I've done in there that were for my stage makeup courses. And so, I don't know, I have 20 odd of them. There's some that I didn't even do or use. So, like, that's a thing.
How much would you say that those courses helped you?
A lot. It teaches you technique baseline for like doing makeup like this, but it also just like gives you the excuse to get a lot of materials and mess about with them, because again, this is trial and error. A lot of makeup is trial and error. And so it gives you the space to fail and experiment before you go into like, you know, the real world. And what I'm gonna do is I might make some like golden tears kind of coming from the eyes. So I'm gonna have to really dilute this to do that. We're gonna see how this goes for us. So maybe if
Oh, I can see through the corner of my eye how white my nose is in comparison to the other side. Oh my goodness.
Incredible.
That is quite apparent.
Yeah.
I'm very excited to see what this looks like in post.
And then lift your head. Golden tears.
Still checking out my own nose
Yeah.
on either side.
Ah.
And like, so I
Well,
can't see it physically. Is it
yes.
looking like it's coming down right now? Okay. So it kind of helps that image
Yeah.
and sell that illusion as well too. Nice.
And it's super watery right now. Like it's watery to the point that it's dripping, which is what I want,
Okay.
because I'm going for like tears.
Yeah. Rather than go for drawing it yourself, why not let
the makeup do the work.
And makeup do the work.
Yeah, exactly.
That sounds good.
Feathers. I have so many
Ooh.
ideas running through my little brain right now. Do you have an opinion?
I like the feathers idea.
You like the feathers idea?
But I don't know what it look like right now.
Okay.
So who knows? It'll
Who
work.
can say, really? This gold is also a lot softer because of how much water I've used on it. So.
Safe for consumption and everything, yeah.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Mm.
Delicious.
That's good. I can already taste the pineapple vanilla.
I know you're trying to focus. I have a question for you, Jordyn.
For sure.
So you worked on like with your family, with Brent. Who would be like a dream person to like do this on or for, or like a project? Like,
Oh gosh. I mean, I'd love to do makeup on Pedro Pascal. That would be really fun. I feel like he'd be super into it too. So, yeah, probably Pedro Pascal. I feel like that'd be super, super cool. Like, give him a little mushroom look based off The Last of Us, because he's in the show, you know? I think that'd be cool.
Or do his makeup for his Mario spoof.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. That was so funny.
I'm going to give you a bit of a bloody nose, but with gold.
Nice. This angel's been in a fight.
So
Don't
much
sneeze,
water.
don't sneeze, don't sneeze.
He's twitching. Stop! You just messed me up. Okay, there we go. We're running a little bit now. Blood the angel.
You should see the other guy.
You should see the other guy.
The
That's
classic.
that's the other side of the face.
Yeah.
All right. So, I'm going to do actually, I feel like I need to soften this brush a little. Yeah. Just going to start giving you some gold up here into the hairline again, which is feathering, not feathers, but feathering, a technique, a painting technique. A little more of that.
So what is this purpose to do, feathering?
It's just to kind of break up the starkness of the lines. So because you have such a like stark whiteness to one side of your face, I'm going to add gold along the other side.
Gotcha.
And I'm going to make it almost look like it's breaking through a little bit. And from the hairline, it just helps to bring the makeup up into your hair. Because we're not doing anything with your hair, because we're not putting a wig on you. It's a very odd sight at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So adding the gold to the side and breaking up the starkness of the lines through feathering helps to kind of use that illusion, I would say.
Mhm. That's really interesting. For me, that brings to mind this idea of like a painting, right? You kind of have that border.
Yeah.
Whereas with this, like on the face, it's like there is a border, but you almost want to kind of bleed into it and blur the lines between the, you know, the reality and kind of the fantasy or reality that you're creating. Wow.
Just gotta make sure my hair is out of the way.
Oh, you're gonna have gold in your hair no matter what. So yeah, just something like that even can help break up the harshness of those lines.
You have to make your own borders when you're working with the face, rather than the painting that's already made for you. You kind of have to draw your own.
And I'm actually going to kind of build that line so that it looks purposeful rather than not where we cut you in half, essentially. Which I should have done prior to now, because now my hand positioning is wonky trying to do this, but that's okay. That's on me. I'm not sure what it's called, but something I was inspired by for this particular makeup look was the way in which Japanese pottery artists re-put together broken pottery using gold and gold leaf in the cracks of whatever was broken to make it have new beauty. I just think that's so neat and such a lovely way of looking at something that's like broken into pieces. So the nice thing about these water paints as well is that I can put my hand on it and nothing comes off, and I don't really scrub away anything because I have set everything. So it's a really easy medium to work with. That's why a lot of face painters use water-based paints. They're just an easy, nice little medium to work with.
That brings a question to mind, actually. When you have to say goodbye to a piece, when you have to wipe it off, are there any feelings there, or is it an easy process, or you're like, oh, let's get this off already, or yeah?
So there's been a few makeups in that book that I've been like, get it off. There is also been a couple makeups where I am like staring at myself in the mirror and I'm like, there's almost a sense of what's it called when you don't feel right in your body? Like if you take something on or off, it's going to change how you feel about yourself. That's how I felt in a couple of the makeups. I'm like, I don't want to take this off because I feel like this is a part of who I am and an expression of how I am. And if I take it off, I can't express that part as easily or as readily to the rest of the world. So there are a few makeups in there. The Ronnie cosplay, like painting myself blue. I don't know why, but painting myself blue made me feel really good. I am a blue person. So there was that one. There is a masculine version of myself makeup in there. And the first time I ever did that, I was like, I don't want to take this off, but I also feel really weird having a man's face on while also like not having my chest not bound. So there was like some weird stuff going on there when I did it. I think it's somewhere back there.
I think this is the age stuff.
Mm-hmm. That's me bruised. There I am. Yeah, there's me as a dude. As a man. So yeah, that was another one where I was like, this is weird. I don't want to take this off, but I also feel like an imposter in my own body. Yoink. It's fun. I'm going to add a little bit of this brighter gold to, wrong side of the face, to spots in the cracks that I have made. It's a bit of highlight, again, to bring this gold into the piece a bit more. Get a little more shiny, a little more sparkly. Makeup is a very trust the process thing for me. I will get halfway through something and be like, oh no, that looks awful. And then after it's said and done, I'm like, okay, no, it's fine. It looks good. But it is a very trust the process thing for me. Even in my own daily makeup, sometimes I'll do my winged eyeliner and I'm like, well, that sucked. And just have to trust the process that my other makeup will help the look.
That brings a question to mind of what would be like your top 3 tips for people maybe inspired by this and wanting to get into it? Like,
make a picture morgue. Just press your lips together slightly. Yeah, like that. Perfect. Make a picture morgue, and a picture morgue is collecting photos, paintings, music. It's called a picture morgue, but it can be anything. Videos of things that you are inspired by, whether that is somebody's face or a creature, so on and so forth. Make a picture morgue, because when you get to and sit down and you're like, I want to do a makeup, and then you're like, I don't know what to do, it is like ruining for your motivation to actually do anything, I have found. So make a picture morgue. Spend the time doing the research for really good materials. You can use cheap brushes. You can use dollar store paint brushes. You can use dollar store makeup brushes if you have really good makeup. I have spent too much money on the things that I have. My one alcohol activated paint palette was $260. They are super, super good paints. They look great on film. They look great in real life. They look great on stage. And that is why they are so expensive. But if you invest, you are going to get what you've invested out of it in terms of what you have put in. So that's the second tip. Invest in your art. Third, practice on yourself. Practice as much as you can, as much as you have time for. Just practice, practice, practice. As much as humanly possible. Because your hands have to get used to working on the face. The face is not a painting. It is not a canvas. It is not a blank piece of paper. It is not a tablet. And I'm a digital artist, so I work on a tablet all the time. I draw on my tablet and I'm like, that was easy. And then I get to a face and I was like, what are these shapes? What do you mean there's 3 dimension to the face? Stop. Because it is hard working on the face. We've got a lot of weird conical like shapes and figures to our noggins. Our faces are beautiful as they are difficult to work with. That was very philosophical.
mm-hmm.
What was your first, I'm not going to say it, call it face painting, but like, when was the first time that you started to branch out into more of a creative aspect rather than makeup in your everyday life?
Definitely when I went to the Calgary Comic Expo for the first time. And I saw all of these people, and like I had painted my face, but it was mostly with beauty makeup and what I had. But I saw these people in full body paint and these beautiful costumes and cosplays that were so elevated by the makeups that they had. And I thought, wow, what an amazing way to elevate your look. Can you look up for me? And so that was the first time I ever started experimenting. Right after that expo, I went out and bought my first like experimental makeup, like theatrical makeup stuff. And I never kind of looked back. So.
And just been doing it ever since?
Been doing it ever since. I just experiment all the time. I love cosplay. I love costumes. I love theater. I think all of it's just fun. It's just fun. Where'd my little itty bitty blue brush go? Oh, it's hiding. I'm just going to go back in and redefine the underlayer of some of the eye shapes here.
And we have a couple last touches as well, too.
Couple last touches. We do. I got to put gemstones on your face.
Oh, excellent. The finishing touches of the shine.
The shine. You're just a very sparkly little guy.
The bejeweled crying angel.
Jewel crying angel.
This angel's crying with his Gucci brand.
My rhinestone kit.
Lovely.
I love this thing. It's so much fun.
What do we have in here?
So there's some like more pearl looking gemstones here, and there's 3 different sizes to each of them, and then we actually have rhinestones. I think what I'm going to do with you is pearls. Maybe I'll do a combination. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. We will see when we get there. I think I'm going to start with, actually, you know what could be fun? Is actually giving you an eye. A little pupil in these eyes. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do.
Let's do
we
it.
figured something out here. So, you're wiggling. You're doing a big wiggle.
Stop moving.
Yeah, you're going to have to be pretty still for this one. So, grabs a snack. I don't have my good tweezers with me so that I can stick these on without getting my fingers right up in your face, but you are no stranger to that at this point, so we're just going to put that. That's creepy as hell. Fun.
Yeah, it's actually really cool how the light is hitting it, because it has some angles to it, and so the light hitting it makes it look like it's alive.
Fun. See, this is the trust the process thing. Sometimes you don't know where you're going, but then you find it, and you're like, ah. Don't do that.
I don't know if moving the face would help the illusion, but...
It will once they're dry.
Ah, right. Probably should wait for that first.
Yeah. Very delicate process of...
So what did you mention that you're gluing these on?
So this is eyelash glue.
Okay.
If you need these to hold through thick and thin, I would recommend like a liquid adhesive, like spirit gum, but I don't love... We're down to gemstone. That's okay. We'll get another one. Spirit gum. It's not my favorite thing to use because it dries super fast and it like adheres things to your face, and you have to use an actual removal tool and or agent to get it off. So I prefer using this. I prefer using eyelash glue because it is just...
And it's meant to come off.
Yeah, it's meant to come off. Just got a bunch of eyes. I do not have a gem small enough for the last eye, so I'm going to fill in a little pupil with liquid eyeliner. Just like that. Lovely. Fun.
Excellent. Okay. That's pretty much the completed image at that point. I'm gonna love seeing myself in post, but actually I think I'm gonna be able to see myself right now. Because I forgot we have some mirrors sitting right in front of us that we just weren't using. So I'm gonna have the big reveal.
We're gonna do a react.
We got, oh man, I can see there's so much white on my face right now. I'm just checking out my nose once again too, and whoa, that is scary. That's awesome. You were so right. Those rhinestones really, really make the eyes pop as well too. And yeah, bleeding off into the. Man, that is so cool. Excellent. All right, Jordyn. Well, where can we see your next work?
Oh gosh, I am misbehaving 33 on most social media. MISS behaving 33. That's Instagram. I post a lot of my stuff on there. I'm on TikTok. I do a lot of makeup and cosplay on TikTok. I have a YouTube channel. It's pretty inactive, but you can also find me on Twitch because I want to stream more on Twitch. So any of those, like I say, all my social media is the same. It's misbehaving33. Yeah.
For makeup and all of your other interests, misbehaving33.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, everybody. Well, thank you so much for those of you that have tuned in so far. I'm Clark. He's Perry. This has been Jordyn Nixon on the Windy City's Finest. Thank you once again, Jordyn, for coming in and joining with us, feeding us some beautiful snacks as well too. Hey. After and then just painting us up and just giving us a chance to jump into your headspace as well too. So thanks so much. All right, folks, have a good one.
It's Clark and Perry on the case. Clark and Perry do what it takes. Clark and Perry investigate.
The activities and interests of local artists in the Windy City's Finest throughout both Lethbridge and Medicine Hat, Alberta. Available on TELUS, Optic TV, On Demand, VidFlex, YouTube, and more for limited time only. Terms and conditions apply.